Tonight, a former ambassador teaches students about foreign policy.
Plus, an election will be held on campus tomorrow. Stay tuned. Troy's TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
And welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for January 29, 2013. I'm Rachel Scarborough.
And I'm Judson Garner. Thank you for joining us this evening. Troy University's Ambassador in Residence program welcomes former ambassadors to campus to teach students about foreign policy and individuals involved. Deonta Montgomery introduces us to this semester's Ambassador in Residence.
On Tuesday, some students had the chance to listen to the Ambassador in Residence from the Woodrow Wilson Visiting Program. David Dunford, the 5th Ambassador in Residence and the former U.S. Ambassador of Oman, stopped by the Troy's campus on his 5-day visit to meet and talk to students about international affairs.
I'm hoping that what I give to the students is a perspective of somebody who's actually lived and worked in foreign countries, had to deal with different cultures, and had to deal with foreign policy problems. Give them hopefully some incentive to think about foreign affairs as a career.
Dunford says that being a part of the Woodrow Wilson Visiting Program has allowed him to travel around the world to learn new things.
I've been doing this for 10 years, and this is my 10th campus visit, and it gets me to parts of the country that I never would have thought of visiting, and I learn about different parts of my own country.
One Troy University professor states that through Dunford's visit, he hopes the students gain more insight about what is really going on in the Middle East.
Whether you are in political science or any field, it's really important to get a better grasp of what's really going on. And so we really need people with expertise and knowledge to enlighten our student body and also faculty as well.
Dunford will also be speaking at Troy's Dothan and Montgomery campuses. Deonta Montgomery, Troy TrojanVision News.
Dunford will present a lecture Thursday afternoon at 4 in the Hawkins Hall Auditorium. The lecture is free and open to the public.
Troy University welcomes hundreds of incoming students each semester during impact orientation sessions. But in order for these sessions to remain a fun and informative experience for students, the Right Source student is required to act as an impact leader. But how can a Troy student become an impact leader? Christina Cook has the details.
Every summer, Troy University holds impact sessions for all incoming students, and over every impact session, there are impact leaders. These leaders are Troy University students that are selected through a process that is starting this semester.
Normally 7 girls, 7 boys, and then they're paired up and they are a team, so there's 7 teams throughout the summer. And the leader is basically the person who guides the new student throughout the whole process of impact. They're there from the very beginning all the way until they leave with their schedule. So they're basically your main support system during impact.
And as the co-director of Impact explains, the job does require a great deal of responsibility and commitment, but the applicants should have an overall love for Troy University.
They start at the first week of June, so you have just a little bit of time after finals in May to kind of go home, get your bearings about, and then come back to Troy starting immediately in June. You do kind of lose your summer if you want to look at it that way. You're here just about all summer. If you don't love Troy, then you're probably not going to love your job this summer, because that's all it is. It's full of Troy University.
So, do you think you have what it takes to be an impact leader?
There's going to be interest sessions tomorrow at January 30th in Trojan Center Room 119 at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
The second interest session will be on February the 7th in Adams Administration at 5:30. They're basically the same thing, and then after applications are due February the 12th by noon. And when you turn in your application into the Adams Administration, that's when you'll sign up for an interview time.
Christina Cook, Troy TrojanVision News.
Once again, the interest sessions will be tomorrow at 3 in Trojan Center Room 119 and on February 7th in Adams Administration Building at 5:30.
Tomorrow, the Student Government Association will hold a vacancy election. There are 4 seats up, including 2 at-large Senate seats, 1 for the College of Communication and Fine Arts, and 1 for the College of Arts and Science. The president of SGA says in any election, students should vote because it matters.
Students have unlimited access to these elections. You're able to vote in all of them. And essentially, we allow our student body to determine who their SGA representatives are, whether it be on an executive officer level or in the Senate.
Again, the elections are tomorrow from 8 to 5 in the SGA office located in Trojan Center, room 215. Students will need their student IDs to vote.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Trussville, authorities say a body found inside a vehicle submerged in a Trussville pond has been identified as a Margaret man. The Jefferson County coroner says 41-year-old Michael Carroll was identified by dental records.
In Boaz, police say a man who was injured in a car crash has been arrested for stealing an ambulance after being taken to the hospital. 24-year-old Matthew Todd of Boaz was intoxicated during a crash that happened in Sardis and was hospitalized in Boaz. Authorities say Todd was waiting for a room and eventually took off in an ambulance. Police found the ambulance abandoned in Boaz the next morning and say Todd tried stealing a horse but did not know how to properly saddle it. When that failed, police say Todd stole a car, returned to the hospital for treatment, and was arrested. Todd is charged with 2 counts of auto theft and 1 count of burglary. He is being held on a $7,500 bond.
And coming out of Montgomery, the Mid-Alabama Coalition for the Homeless is gearing up to count the number of homeless people in Montgomery and conduct interviews to determine their needs. Homeless population counts are required for community agencies to receive funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the baseball season is right around the corner. Justin McNelly will have a preview and more when he joins us with a look at Trojan sports.
But first, a soldier that lost all 4 limbs gets a new outlook on life. We'll have that remarkable story coming up.
A young soldier who lost 4 limbs in the Iraq War gets a double-arm transplant. I'm Tara Merchiner in Baltimore, Maryland with the story coming up.
Decision of one of the most influential women of our time. The woman who, after having one too many drinks, chose not to drive home buzzed. Here today to honor Rachel is the family whose lives she spared.
I was looking for something that if I had to take online, I could still take it, but I wanted that personal touch that Troy offers. I needed to be able to work around my schedule because I still support my family full time, and I needed to be able to be flexible, and Troy met those needs.
On campus or online, Troy offers you an extraordinary education with the flexibility you need. Troy University. It's all you need to know.
My name is Jeremy. I am a criminal justice major with Homeland Security. I needed to reinvent myself, and I chose Troy.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
Now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Rachel Scarborough at the Global News Desk. Rachel?
The appearance was planned weeks ago, but has gained importance coming the days after a group of 8 senators put forth a bipartisan immigration reform plan. We get more from CBS's Danielle Nottingham in Washington.
President Obama told students at the predominantly Hispanic Del Sol High School in Las Vegas he's keeping his campaign promise to reform immigration.
We need Congress to act on a comprehensive approach that finally deals with the 11 million undocumented immigrants who are in the country right now.
The president supports the plan that the so-called Gang of 8 unveiled Monday. It would allow illegal immigrants to gain temporary legal status if they pass a criminal background check, pay a fine and back taxes, and learn English. They can apply to become a citizen behind people who started the process legally.
For the first time in many years, Republicans and Democrats seem ready to tackle this problem together.
Some GOP House members have already said they don't support the Senate proposal, but some of the biggest opposition to immigration reform could come from outside the halls of Congress. Republican Senator Marco Rubio went on conservative radio to drum up support from a skeptical Rush Limbaugh.
If 70% of the Hispanic vote went Republican, do you think the Democrats would be for any part of this legislation?
The group of 8 senators sponsoring the legislation say once the language is agreed upon, the bill could come up for a vote as early as this summer. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Washington.
A soldier who lost all 4 limbs in an Iraq roadside bombing now has 2 new arms, and as Tara Mergener explains, doctors tested out a new technique that could make arms and hand transplants a viable option for more veterans.
Brendan Morocco is excited to have 2 new arms, and he's quickly learned to use them.
I've been using the hands to text and use my computer and scratch my face and do my hair. And they've truly become a part of my everyday life in the last 6 weeks.
The 26-year-old Army veteran lost his arms and legs in a roadside bombing 4 years ago in Iraq. The surgery, which attached arms from a deceased donor, was extremely complicated, connecting bones, blood vessels, muscles, tendons, nerves, and skin.
It's given me a lot of hope for the future.
Surgeons and specialists from around the country practiced on cadavers and last month performed the 13-hour surgery at Johns Hopkins Hospital. The medical team also gave Morocco bone marrow from the donor to help his body accept the new limbs.
He will only take 1 anti-rejection medication.
Doctors say Morocco is now healed enough to leave the hospital, but he won't head back to his home in Staten Island just yet. He has to return here nearly every day for several months for hours of physical therapy.
The nerves regenerate at the maximum speed of 1 inch per month.
And when that function returns, Morocco wants to get behind the wheel of his new Dodge Charger.
I can't give up because I haven't driven it yet.
It's waiting for him in his garage at home. Tara Mergener for CBS News, Baltimore, Maryland.
It's Media Day at the Super Bowl. The players discuss football and a whole lot more. Teresa Garcia is there.
During the Super Bowl's Media Day, the talk isn't just about football. Guys discuss their hair.
Yeah, just an afro. I've always been doing it.
San Francisco linebacker Tavares Gooden showed off his teeth. Can you play with those on, or do you have to take them off?
I always play with them. I just got these redone.
And Vernon Davis offered interior decorating tips.
Maybe some curtains right here.
The media and players aren't the only ones here. For $25, the fans can watch from the stands. They came to see stars like Ray Lewis and Colin Kaepernick. Much has been made of the quarterback's touchdown pose, and his teammates were ready to offer their best imitations.
And then you got to look up. Make sure you look at everybody.
Ravens quarterback Joe Flacco says you won't catch him posing or dancing.
No, you will not be seeing any dance moves from this guy.
The Super Bowl attracts media from around the world and plenty of characters, including a Viking, a superhero, and a Spanish-speaking clown who predicts the 49ers will be victorious. On Sunday, we will find out if he's right. Teresa Garcia, CBS News, New Orleans.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, such as how today marks 200 years since Jane Austen's love story, Pride and Prejudice, was first published, you can tune into TrojanVision Global News right after the nightly news. Now back to you, Judson.
All right. Thanks a lot, Rachel. Now, Justin McNally joins us for a look at sports, and the Super Bowl is coming up this Sunday. A lot of people pretty excited about that. What's happening around here?
Just in Troy's words, we got basketball coming up tomorrow night for the women's team. Men follow that up on Thursday night with a game. And baseball season's finally getting into swing, practicing for the upcoming season. But I'll get to that and more here in sports.
All right.
And if you follow Troy sports, you probably remember the inaugural game in Trojan Arena. If not, here's a quick refresher. With the game tied and only 1.6 seconds on the clock, Emil Jones drained the game-winning jumper and propelled the Trojans to a 56-53 victory over Mississippi State. Just this past Thursday, Jones rose to the occasion with some late-game heroics yet again, knocking down a three to tie the game and send it to OT. Then on Saturday, he followed that up by outscoring the Warhawks in overtime 8-7 in the Trojans' second overtime victory of the week. Head coach Don Maestri knows the importance of having a clutch player like Jones.
Making shots and making pressure shots are two different things. Making free throws at the end of the game and making them in the beginning of the game are two different things. Emil, when it was crunch time in these past two games, he just came through like a great pressure player. So I can't tell you how important that is when you have somebody that can make big baskets.
It was a surprise to hear that Jones leads the team in scoring this season and also has the highest points per game average at 11.2 per outing. And for the women's basketball team, they have hit the road today, heading to Western Kentucky for their next game, which will be tomorrow night. They'll be looking to end a 10-game losing streak, but it'll be against the Hilltoppers, who are a perfect 5-0 in conference play at home. The good news for Troy, though, is that the Hilltoppers are coming in on a 2-game losing streak, having lost to South Alabama and Middle Tennessee State. Their last loss at home, though, was December 4th against Vanderbilt. The Trojans are winless in their history at EA Diddle Arena, but they'll look to change that tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And while the season may not have went how he wanted it to, but head soccer coach Chris Bentley is still earning some postseason honors. For the third straight year, Bentley has been named to the coaching staff for the National Olympic Development Program team. From February 28th to March 3rd, Bentley will be in Florida with other collegiate coaches for the annual USL Super Y League ODP National Camp. Bentley said it is a tremendous honor to be named to the coaching staff and will be a great way to represent Troy University. And well, believe it or not, folks, baseball season is right around the corner. That means it's time to take yourself out to the ball games. Buy yourself some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Well, I'm sure you get the picture by now. Well, here's a glimpse at the 2013 Trojan baseball team. Coming off a disappointing 2012 campaign, the Trojan baseball team is getting things underway to prepare for the upcoming season. And head coach Bobby Pierce is optimistic of his team.
Well, we think we've got a really good ball club again this year. Very excited about our team because they show us all the things you want to see at this particular time and going back to the fall.
A major concern heading into this season is the pitching staff due to the fact that last year's team was plagued with injuries to 4 of its main pitchers. But Pierce is confident his pitching staff for 2013 will be strong, even with the loss of All-Star Tyler Ray.
I think this staff is finally getting into a position where they know they can lead the team. They know they've got good defenders behind them. They know they've got an offense that can score some runs for them. We're not a power pitching staff. We're a pitchability staff.
With all the big games on the schedule for the Trojans this year, one non-conference weekend really stands out in Pierce's mind.
The weekend I'm looking forward to, because I don't look too much forward, is the second weekend in Orlando where we play Texas Tech, UConn, and Central Florida. I think that's going to be kind of the weekend that tells us a little bit really where we are and what we need to improve moving forward.
Trojans will begin its season with a 4-game series against Florida A&M at Riddle Pace Field on February 15th. But if you would like to meet your favorite Trojan players beforehand, come out to Fan Day this Sunday at Riddle Pace Field. The festivities will begin at 2 o'clock. So Judson, Rachel, the women's basketball team, they're looking to pick up a big victory tomorrow night, which would be tremendous for them to end that losing streak. Basketball teams on their winning streak, Emil Jones out on the court for them, it's looking up for them. And baseball season, just right around the corner, and I'm sure a lot of Trojan fans are excited for things to come for them.
Yeah, and you want to meet the players this Sunday. It's a good opportunity for any Trojan fans out there.
That's right. Get some autographs, meet the players, just have a good time.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Justin.
Thank you. Still to come, the Big Easy Vibes coming to Troy. More on that in today's Trojan Talk.
But first, today's been pretty warm with no rain in the area, but tomorrow is apparently going to be much different. Jamarlo?
Well, yes, Justin, have been alive, and for tomorrow we're expecting to see some rain. But I have more on that coming up next in weather.
Now the big guy comes out to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. The first pitch is fouled between
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
the path of my life, the way it took me. There was detours and things that had to be done, but I never lost the passion. I decided to continue my education and decided to do it here at Troy. But I've had a great support system with my teachers and my advisors, and I'll be forever grateful to them for that.
On campus or online, Troy offers you an extraordinary education and a culture of caring. Troy University. It's all you need to know.
My name is Deborah, and I choose Troy every day.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Jamarlo Phillips joins us for a look at weather.
So, Jamarlo, I hear that tomorrow may be a little rough weather.
Right, we're expecting to see some severe weather come in tomorrow, but I'll give you more on that coming up next. But first, let's take a look at our campus snapshot. Taking a look across Bibb Graves Quad, we can see that the sun has set already. It's been a beautiful day on the campus of Troy University today, especially with the warm temperatures coming in. Taking a look at our current conditions, the skies right now are fair. Temperature coming in at 74 degrees, dew point at 62 degrees, humidity at 67%, barometer reading 30.6 inches and falling, with our winds coming from the south-southwest at about 13 miles per hour. Taking a look at today's stats. Today we were able to see a high of 74 degrees, a low of 55. There was no rain in our area today. Sun rose this morning at 6:46 a.m. and has set at 5:15 p.m. Taking a look at our temperatures from around the state, we can see that we're experiencing those high 60 to low 70 degree temperatures. Huntsville sitting at 67 degrees, Birmingham at 72 degrees, Montgomery 75. Troy in our area, we're sitting at 75 degrees as well with those cloudy skies. Phoenix City at 71, Dothan at 79, and Mobile sitting down here at 71 degrees. Taking a look at our current temperatures across the southeast, we can see again that we have been experiencing some warm temperatures in the southeast. Let's take a look at our current temperatures across the United States. We can definitely see that temperatures have dramatically changed from the low 20s, ranging from the low 20s all the way down to, taking a look at Texas, down to the almost to the 90s. Take a look at our departure from normal. We can see that in our area we're experiencing about a 22 degree increase than what we've been seeing in the past few days. Taking a look at our current surface map, we can see that we have a few pressure systems around the country right now, low pressure systems as well as a cold front, along with some patches of rain that may come into our area in the next 48 hours. But as we take a look at our current surface map in our area, we can see that we have this cold front sitting out here in Texas. We can see that it's right here in the northern portion of Texas. Is going to push into our area where we will be experiencing those severe weather maybe in the next 48 hours for tomorrow. Taking a look at our precipitation forecast for the next 48 hours, we can again see in our area we may be experiencing maybe up to an inch of rain in the next 48 hours for tomorrow, as well as for the rest of the southeast. They will be experiencing rain as well. Taking a look at Wednesday's forecast. For Wednesday, looking into our area, we will be experiencing some severe weather, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Stay tuned into your local news station or even TrojanVision midday to get your updates on the weather systems for tomorrow. Taking a look at Thursday's forecast, that rain will push out of our area. Going into Friday's forecast, our area will remain clear, and going into Saturday, we have a little patches of rain above the Louisiana the area and Tennessee, but it should not affect our area. Taking a look at tonight's forecast, tonight we'll be seeing cloudy skies, showers after midnight, thunderstorms possible with light winds coming from the south-southeast at about 14 miles per hour with a low of 65 degrees. Going into tomorrow's forecast, tomorrow we'll be seeing some very strong storms and damaging winds. We'll definitely see a chance of rain as well with winds coming from the south-southwest at about 23 miles per hour. Going to our 4-day forecast for Wednesday, like I said before, we'll definitely be seeing that chance of rain. Also with a chance of thunderstorms going to Thursday at high 57, sunny skies, and Friday and Saturday those partly cloudy skies will come back into our area. So Rachel, Justin, for tomorrow, we definitely need to be on the lookout for that rain. Make sure that we have some umbrella on hand.
Yeah,
rain
looks
gear.
like it's going to rain tomorrow. So
Yeah.
all right,
Thank you
thanks
so
a lot.
much.
All right, thank you.